Hey guys, how is everybody? We are back with another amazing Breshna breakdown this week. I will say my internet seems to be a little bit off, so I really hope that all of this is totally streaming really fine and there's no glitching going on, but if there is, I do apologize. It does seem to be my internet. So, today we are here making our very own game libraries. Now let me adjust this just a minute. I'm adjusting the wrong thing. I heard you guys. So our game libraries, this is essentially the idea is we are here to create full libraries of games where you can help like kind of teach different languages to your students, right? So this is really fun. It's a really easy way for us to use. So sorry, you guys. Give me just 2 seconds here. There we go. All right. Doing all of this craziness live. So we're here. It's really awesome to be here. Okay. This library. So, okay. Let's start over. We're a little bit chaotic this morning. So I'm Lindsay. I am Chief of Staff here at Breshna.io, and we are a no-code game-making platform that empowers a non-tech audience to create games with no code at no cost and at lightning speed. It's very easy, and a lot of the time we get a lot of educators coming in to use these to teach different languages or to just teach, different aspects because it's really fun, and we have a purposeful communication / educational twist to all of our different templates, which are things that you can see right here. These are all different templates, which simply means they're different game mechanics. And I have a lot of teachers who come on who use this to teach different subjects and different grade topics or different grades, different topics, as well as going, social activists and marketers and entrepreneurs and stuff use this as well. So today we are going into kind of how to create a library. This is the final day of our 3-part series on teaching languages through Breshna. And the idea here is that we're actually going to teach French. Our first week we taught Spanish. We used our cross-boss and a couple of other templates to teach Spanish. Last week I showed you how to get past our little kind of limitation of our left to right language feature. So you can create languages in any language or languages. You can create games in any language on Breshna, and it's really easy to use. But it does require you flip games if you are using a right to left script to right to left, so that all of the script flips. And so if you're teaching a right to left language to a left to right language or vice versa, then it gets a little bit complicated, and I showed you guys how to kind of get past that. Today, we are going into how to make kind of a good couple of games that will reiterate and get a single idea into your students' head. Right? And so we're starting off right up here with our pair dare template, which is exactly like what you see. It's got these two kind of columns, and then you're matching the two sides, and we're going to show people how to conjugate their ER French terms. And then when we go that, we're going to come all the way down to one that I do love and I haven't used in a very long time, our catch the answer template, where you guys are going to actually catch terms or like sentences, very short basic French sentences, but you're going to catch ones that are correctly conjugated. And then finally we are going to end with our Match Mania, which is a tile matching game right here, where you're going to tile match irregular terms, right? So we know we love our regular terms. They're very simple to conjugate, but there's always, an exception to the rule, and those are irregular terms, and we're going to be doing that. So starting all the way up at the top, we are on Breshna.io, and you are going to make sure that you have signed in first. So make sure you sign in. I have signed in. It says Breshnaverse coming soon for me. It would probably say your name. It could be whatever you want it to be. And then you would come down and you would select any one of our 22 different templates. Again, the templates are simply different game mechanics, so it's easy for you to just kind of go through. If you want to see what the game itself is, you can just hit preview, or go ahead and just click create and see where we're going. So for this template, what we're doing is we are matching the endings of ER terms with their pronouns, right? So when you have je, which is I, J-E is I, the ending tends to be an E. and then with two, it's ES, right? And so that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. So as I come in here, you can see there's two different panels. We've got our visual panel on the left side that does all of our graphics and our music, and then our verbal panel on the right, where we'll be able to actually fill in these different kind of collectibles and talk about our description and stuff like that. So I'm going to start by changing out my avatar. Once you want to change your avatar, you can just come in and click, select whatever it is you want to select. Ooh, a brain. That's not a bad idea for this one. But I'm gonna go with my classic cat because I do love her so much. She is like literally my favorite. Maybe I'll have her be kind of snotty with us. I don't know, we'll see. But if you'd like, you can upload your own avatars. For one like Pear Dare like this, it's super simple. It is just an image, so you make sure it's 256 by 256. Follow these instructions here, and then you just upload the JPEG. And you just add your file, enter a title, whatever you want to call it, and then go into your keywords. This is what's going to allow you to actually search for these things. And so like for here, I have a lot of these tagged as cat. So if I was to search cat, all of these pop up, as well as caterpillar, because that has cat in the very beginning. So all of these different things pop up. I wonder what he is. Why are we getting cat for him? That's pretty funny. So we've chosen our avatar. I'm going to select a different background. Now, one thing to note for Pear Dare, this green kind of film here will go away. It won't be there. You'll be able to see the background much more beautifully once you've played the game. This is just kind of show you where your things are going to sit. So I'm going to choose something that's fairly dark, simply because I am using the actual text here available. I'll show you what I mean in just a second, but I'm using the text here, and that's going to be white. So if I want a white text to show up, I have to have a fairly dark background, and I don't have any of those uploaded right now. Same idea. If you want to upload, you can upload your own background. Just go through and do the same thing like I said in our avatars. But let's see if there is something a little bit darker. It's even maybe French themed. I don't know. That's asking a little bit much at this point. But let's see. You know what? This kind of pink color is cool. We're gonna use that little pinky. Let me see if this is gone. Okay, apply. So one of the nice things too is sometimes things like this, you can't always see the assets that you have added to your template from this view. That is why we have on this right panel the little avatar and the background and like some of the things that you can actually see that are selected for your game. You can see them right here. It's a little bit easier versus back there. I end up maybe like trying to find it, trying to figure it out. Maybe I would have to go and preview it if we didn't have this available for you. So we wanted to make sure that that's free. Now I'm skipping collectibles because it's a little bit complicated on this one, and so we're just going to move on to music. You can choose any of these, whatever you want to do. I do believe we've actually just uploaded a bunch of new ones, or we are about to upload a bunch of new ones. I believe it's going to be really cool. I was actually listening to a bunch of them. It's very neat. Very neat. Anyway, you can play these and sample them with the little purple triangle play button, and then if you want that, once you've decided what you like, you can click the pink plus button and it will go onto your game. Of course, you want to make sure that you want music. If you don't want music, click no music. Otherwise, there are often for our templates like a default song that will play, so just make sure that you're watching it and you're aware. If it's no music, it will say no music and it will black everything else out or darken it out. But if you don't and nothing has been selected, it will probably go to a default song, so just be aware of that. So I have clicked energy, I'm coming out, and now I've done my avatar, my background, and my music. I'm over now on the right-hand side where I'm going to go into my text. So introduction here, this is something that pops up at the beginning of every level. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell them a little bit about French terms. So I'm going to say in French, and actually I'm going to bring this down a little bit just because my microphone is a little bit close to my keyboard. So in French, we have, here we go, there are terms called ER terms. Actually, let's just say there are terms ending in ER. To conjugate this. That's conjudge. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Oh. Conjugate this. There. You need to change the final letters of the word. So if you were a French teacher or a language teacher, you would probably give a much better description than I am giving right now. I am not a language teacher, so I hope you guys will do better than me. And then so when it comes to French, it tends to be like E, E-S, and then it's E again, so that gets a little bit complicated, and then O-N-S, E-Z, and E-N-T. So I'm going to write all that through. For ER terms, it tends to be, which not always, tends to be, je with an E at the end, tu with an ES at the end, il, elle with an E on the end. So that one is confusing, right? You want to make sure when we're doing something that's pairing like this, we're not going to put je and il, elle in the same one because they both have E at the end, right? So I'll show you what I mean by that. And then we have nous, which is on, and vous, which is a, and il, elle, elle, ont. Okay. So perfect right there. Boom. All of those things. So one thing about the introduction that's a little bit unfortunate, so I might actually end up putting all of this into the description as well. We'll see that after we've gone through all of this. It doesn't allow you to format. So all of this is going to be shoved into one little paragraph. That's not always the best, especially for learners, if they have to pick through everything. So you're going to make sure that you give a lot more context, right? So give more context either before you even give the game to them at all, or in the description, and have a little bit of like, hey, go check the description. In fact, what we could do right here is we could say, if you get confused, check the description for more info. And then, of course, these are always great spots for you to put a call to action. So if your website is like an awesome tutoring website, you can go to my tutoring, oh my goodness, tutoringwebsite.com. Exclamation point, right? So now you have a call to action in here. That is not a dot. There it goes. mytutoringwebsite.com. So in French, there are terms ending in ER. To conjugate this, well, let's say these, you need to change the final letters of the word. For ER terms, it tends to be je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, plural. And those have all got the little endings with them. If you get confused, check the description for more info, or go to mytutoringwebsite.com. Not bad. And then I'll show you how to make this into the description with a little bit more information, a little bit more context. So here, our question is going to be match the ER verb ending to its pronoun. This little mix button right here just makes it so that these pop up in a different order every time. So if you have people and you want them to be playing the game a lot, and over again, like you would for something like this, make it so that it mixes up, just so that you don't know it because this one went to down here last time. You know it because this one goes to this one. These two match together, and it doesn't matter where it is, right? Now, if you want it to be very simple, you can leave it, and you can leave this off. I do recommend leaving that on, though. Okay, so now we're back into collectibles. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to click X on every single one of these because we need to get these cleared. Now there's only 3 panels, so there's only ever going to be 3 of these here. You can't add more. You can add more levels, which is what we're going to do. Now we are going to add text for all of these. So I'm going to hit add text and I'm coming in here and, oh, we're not going yellow. We are going to write je, which is I. And then I can add that text. and then I'm going to add text after that, and we're going to have E. And I think we'll put all of these in, we'll do these lowercase. I don't know why it bugs me to have it be in uppercase. So we're just going to have E, right? Then we're going to put 2 in here, TU, add that text, add your text, and that's ES, right? Because the ending of ER terms, verbs, when we are speaking in tu is ES. Now, you don't want to put il here unless it's your plural. So I'm going to put il plural here because il plural, because otherwise I would have to write this as E for il, and then my player doesn't know which one is which, right? They can't select it so that you can select either E and be correct, if that makes sense, right? So I don't want my player to see like je and an E and an il and an E and then not be able to know which one of those matches because they're the same, right? I hope that makes sense. So instead of that, we're going to say ENT, which is the proper ending for ER verbs with il plural, right? So we've got our match the ER verbs ending with its pronoun. In French, we've got all of this information. I'm going to go up and now add a question. There's a bunch of reasons why I waited to add this question until now. One of which is simply because I want to make sure that I filled in as much as I can before I go to do the next one because it duplicates this. So this avatar will be selected, this background will be selected, this introduction will automatically be input, question be input, and then all of these as well will be the same, which we don't necessarily need, but the rest of it we like to have. So I am going to add a question, and you can see it pops to question 2. I can select between these questions and kind of, customize in between. So if I wanted to put a very beautiful bright background on this one, I could do that and it doesn't change the other one, right? So I'm here. I am not going to do this. I'm going to put this back to whatever the dark background we had. Oh, I think it was this one on here. Good, it's changed just like that. Because these are going to be, if I had these as icons, I would probably switch it to something much brighter. But because this is text and the only color available for our text is white, we're going to make sure it's a nice dark background. Okay, so I don't think I need to change this. I think I like the idea of having them have the all 6 pronouns in here. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, and il. So we're going to leave that exactly as is. We're also going to leave this exactly as is. So, and this is verb ending. Yes, I didn't just say verb. Okay. So now I'm going to go through and delete all of these again because we need to remove them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to add our text. So we have nous, add, and we have O and S is our add-on. We have vous, add text, okay, and easy. Excuse me, guys. And finally, we have our il singular. Add the text because now we have E. Oops, encourage kindness. I love that that popped up. Okay, now we have that E. So now we've gotten all of this done. I'm going to come over really quick into our description. I'm going to show you how to kind of make this a little bit better. So let me come in here and copy what I've got in my introduction. And then I'm coming in here. Oops. Oh no, is this too long? Wait a minute. There's no way that's too long. Did I do this wrong? Is it too long? Really? Wow. Okay, hang on. That's weird. I did not expect it to... That's okay. Doesn't matter. So we're just going to come in here and we're going to say, learn your French conjugations with, what are we going to call this? Let's see. We'll call it French. We'll just call it French match because why not? French match to their corresponding pronouns. And then we're going to say enter, enter. So now this is where it gets to be a lot nicer, a lot more organized. So if I wanted to, I could go like this. Je, within, that's a one. Oh my goodness. Tu, es, il, l, singular, e, and then we can go nous, un, vous, et, and il, el. No, my goodness, my typing is broken today. There it is. Un. And then finally, at the end, we can have, if you need help, check out my tutoring website.com. Okay, check out my tutoring website.com. So you can see there's no way that was too many. I'll have to figure out what's going on. But we'll see. So you can see here, I can actually format this so that now it looks a lot nicer. It's a lot easier for me to read. So maybe if I had that in my description, maybe I wouldn't even put it into the introduction. I might do it in a different way, whatever. Totally up to you, and I'll show you what I mean. So we've made our French match. We're going to have to insert some tags. So we're going to say French. We're going to say language. I'm entering after every single one of these. Otherwise, it's not going to go in. If I decide to just have a bunch of words in there and then I select out of it, it will actually go away. So this is for people like us and yourself to be able to search for your game. Language, I think that's good, right? Foreign languages, I don't know. Okay, I am going to put this in a category of education. And then I am going to leave off collecting player emails. You know what? I always say this. We're going to toggle it on. So this allows you to actually collect player emails. You'll see. We're about to play it. It'll pop up and it'll ask for my email. And this will allow you to go into your game afterwards and see who's played it and get the emails and stuff. So especially if you're a tutor or teacher, you can follow up with people who have been having problems. You can follow up with people who maybe are not on your website, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and we're going to play it. We're going to pull all the way up, and then we're going to make sure that we have time to get to our other two games. Here we go. Yeah. So this is pulling up. This is asking me for my email. Now it knows me. It knows my computer, so it's not asking for my name as well, but typically it would, and you'll see it says, "Welcome back, Jack." It only knows that I'm Jack because I've done this a couple of times. So this about, look how beautiful that looks like. Oh my gosh. So learn your French ER conjugations with French match. French match? Yes, okay. Match the ER ending to their corresponding pronouns. So je with the E, tu, il, elle, blah, 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 all the way down. And then if you need help, check out my tutoringwebsite.com, right? But again, so one of the nice things about your intro is it will show up before they play the game no matter what. They have to go into the description. So I might even decide that I'm actually going to do this right now because I like to do this while I'm in the middle of it. So I think I'm actually going to say this part, you need to change the final letters of the word. So I think we're just going to go like this. Da 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 da. If you get confused, there, and we're going to update and publish. So now, the next time I go through, and why not, let's just go ahead and refresh this. So now it's not going to have that extra hint in the intro, right? So we're going to go ahead and get us back in here. Welcome back, Jack. We're going to enter. I've still got all of this info in my About section, but now I've got it. I don't have it in here. Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute. Did this not publish? Bear with me. Hang on. I did. Oh, wait. It's because I did it for level 2. Hang on. You got to make sure you do it all. Trying to the final letters of the word for ER terms. That's why. So it did definitely fix. just did the wrong. If you get confused. And then publish. Now we can play. All right. Coming in last time for our email. I will leave them off for the other ones. I'll go back, Jack. Okay, again, all of the beautifulness in the description, but now as we go through, that's not there. So if you get confused, check back in the description. That's an easy way for them to do it within this window still. And then, or go to mytutoringwebsite.com. And then as we load, now you can see this is kind of where it is. The the green film has gone away. Now I've got tu, and then I've got es is right here. Je, I, il, elle, ent, and that is the correct conjugation. And it gives you a little bit of context and like a review of what you've just done. And then you move on to the next one, and same an intro right here. You could even, if you wanted to, give a little bit of special context in between each level. You could do that as well. And then we've got il, elle to I, we've got nous, on, and vous êtes. Boom. And that's something that you can do again and again and again. If I decided to play again, you can see these are in a different order now. This is not in the exact same order that it was before. It is different, and it will be different every time, and that's because I hit that mixed button right there. Cool. So that is our first just kind of conjugations. Let's kind of speed through this. We are going into our, catch the answer. So here what I want to do is have us catching answers or catching terms that are correct. So what I mean by that, and we've got them right here next to me. Here we go. Perfect. So I want, I can't tell, my camera looks like it keeps cutting out. This is odd. You can see my cursor's over me right now. Anyway, sorry guys. So we have catch the answer. So we have things like je parle, tu regardes, stuff like that. It's funny, my Spanish, and I'm learning Spanish and French at the exact same time. So the accents get mixed quite a lot. It's an interesting idea to learn them at the same time, but whatever. So now we are coming in and we are going through and having people catch the correct terms, or not terms, correct sentences, I guess. Very basic sentences. So same idea, we've come in, we've got our left and our right side, our sort of visual and our audio, or our visual audio and our verbal side over here. So I'm just gonna come in and we're kind of gonna go past all of the craziness over here. We've showed you how to do this quite a few times. Go in and just change your avatar. I think he's very cute, so maybe we'll stick with him. Or our adorable little kitty cat. I am again going to switch this though to a background that's just a little bit darker because once again we are going to, oh wait, hang on, is there anything French related? No. One more. No. Oh, I spelled that wrong, but I don't think it's there anyway. That's okay. All right. So let's do a dark-ish background. Let's see. That's kind of dark. It's got a spooky house though. It's not really on point. Is this any particular spot? That's America. That is very America. So let's see. Which I guess if we're American students learning French, that's not the worst thing in the world. But I like something a little bit more French feeling, I guess. Let's see. I'm not sure. Maybe we just go like this. It's somewhat dark. We'll see if this is dark enough. Okay. So the idea here is that they are going to be catching very basic French sentences, right? Or I don't even know if technically it's a full sentence. Like I speak, you listen, he watches, things like that. So very, very basic French sentences. So catch the basic French sentences and avoid the incorrect and avoid the incorrectly written ones, right? So we're going to have a couple that are correct that are falling, and we're going to have some that are incorrect. So catch correct French sentences. Okay. Closing answers are awesome to be able to give a little bit more of that context, like in our paired error when it popped up and it showed the two different columns that have been matched up. That's a really great way to kind of show a little bit of that context. This is the exact same thing, or feedback. It just reiterates kind of what you've been teaching. So this is that same thing. So I'm actually going to kind of skip this right now. I think if you're a French teacher or a language teacher, you can see here is where you would give more context about the language. Maybe you would write all of this in French right here. You know, you can absolutely do that. Things like that. So I'm going to make this score quite a bit higher, simply because that is the score you need to win to move on to the next level. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to get rid of all of these collectibles in here, and we're adding our custom text, right? So we're doing things like je parle, which is I speak, and to, actually this one might not. Regarde, tu regardes. Il. Oh, I don't have écouter. You know what? Let me skip that. Elle aime. We'll go nous marchons, which is I walk, or they walk. We walk. Nous, it's we. Nous marchons. Let me make sure that's spelled right. I know O-N-S. Yes, right there. Okay. Nous marchons, and then we'll do one more. We'll do two more. Vous travaillez. L-L? It's I-L-L-L. That is 3 L's, isn't it? Yes, it is. T-R-A-V-A-I-L-L. Easy, it is correct. Okay, we've got it. And then finally, we're going to do one more where we're going to do ils. Let's see. And we've got another. It's pretty funny, actually. We've got another. Can I copy this and have it just? Yes. All right, we're gonna go like that. Étudiant. Il étudiant. Okay. Add the text. So now we've got a bunch of correct things that they can catch, right? But we're also going to have a bunch of things that they should not catch, right? So we're gonna actually just basically do exactly the same thing, but this time we're gonna say je parlons. Not correct. We won't do too many, but we can say il regarde. That one is going to be complicated. They're going to have to catch that because that's an il plural. Oh no, this is for the two. Yeah, perfect. You know, perfect. And then we'll do one more. Let's say je chante. Chante. That's too many E's. C-H-A-N-T-E-N-T. There it is. Chanton. Okay. Okay. So now we've got these 3 that are not correct, right? So now I'm going to just go ahead and preview this. Do we have a thing in? Okay. So you would go through, you would write your own description, you would write your own title, you would tag it and all those good things. But we want to make sure that we've got a little bit of time. I want to show you these. And really use those descriptions, guys. Those descriptions are really, really good for you guys to put more information. This is exactly that. This is the template. And then we're catching basic French sentences. Avoid the incorrectly written ones. Right? And so as this pops up, good. This is a really good look. This is very incorrect. This is correct. And chanton, that's not right. It's interesting. I don't typically see the incorrect ones pop out right away. Usually I see it the other way around. And the what's it called? The font looks good. It looks really good against this background. It's really not, nope, that's incorrect. It's really not fading away into anything. The contrast looks good, stuff like that. So this is exactly it. Catch correct French sentences, new marshal, and then that's incorrect. Okay, so that is another way for you to use this and use kind of our catch the answer. Now I was on easy. Once you make it up to hard and they're falling really fast, you got to read, you got to understand, you have to decide if that's correct or not, and you have to move. And so it's a really good way to kind of challenge students both to understand and practice, but as well like get that like kind of immediate, like you need to be doing this while you're doing other things. And that's what you're doing when you're speaking, right? You're trying to find something, you're trying to go somewhere, you've got something else that you're doing, you just have to communicate that. So it's a good way to kind of get that in here. Now we are going to do our Match Mania, and we're ending on this one doing our irregular verbs. Wait a minute, there, oh, okay. I can't tell if it's pop it in or out. I wonder if it's doing this when I'm not paying attention. I hope I'm here the whole time. What's up, guys? Okay. So anyway, our background here, we can get a lot more, you know, it doesn't need to be I don't need to worry quite as much about making it contrasting with the text. I can make it whatever I want because the little backgrounds will make it so that they can see, or so that I can see my text no matter what. So I'm going to do something like this. This one always, the tree isn't quite correct, but when I was younger, I did a very cool thing where we went and we literally biked across the French countryside. It was absolutely beautiful, and for some reason, every time I see this one, it reminds me of that. The trees are completely wrong, but it reminds me of that. So in ode to that French countryside bike ride, that's what I'm going to choose right here. Now we've got our background. We don't have an avatar on this one. I'm going to make my tiles purple because I like my purple collectibles. We're going to do that again over there, and then I'm going to add energy as my song, which will pop up right there, and it's turned into a little pink check mark, so I know it's applied. So now we are going to say the verb, what is it, être? Oh, should I not use it? I don't have, we're going to go avoir. The verb avoir is irregular. Match the terms with their pronouns. Just like that, okay? And then the same idea that we did for our pair dare, you would probably come over into here and give the actual, like, what these are. So it would be j'ai, toi, il, elle, you know, etc. You would go through and you would kind of give that, or not. Maybe you don't want to give that to them. You want it to be an extra challenge. It's totally up to you. And so we're coming in here, and now we're going to add our pairs. So we're adding our text, and we're going to go je, which is interesting because technically it would be J apostrophe. So I'm not sure if we're technically making that wrong, but then it's et, and then tu, a, il, elle, asset is oh wait, did I do this right? And I clicked add asset, I'm not sure. There we go. And then we have here, nous avons, nous avons, and vous avez, and then finally, il, elle, ont, sont. No. Add text. Okay. So now we've got all of these set in, right? We could go through and we could give a whole bunch more context in here in this closing answer. You could even, what you might want to do is give examples here, like put a sentence for each thing, because you could write sentence, 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 and have it be kind of split up so that they can see, you know, what examples would be for each of these things, right? So now with this little bit of a mess here, oh, and of course you would go up and you would give it a name, and you would add keywords, you would add your tags, so it would be French, put this in, education, stuff like that. Now I'm going to preview this because I'm going to fix this up before I go publish this the rest of the way. And that way there's not sort of a crazy game on our library, but here, and then this is where you would have that extra context, right? And we've got our play, the verb avoir is irregular, match the conjugated terms with their pronouns. You might want to put like it means to be instead of just this is the term, match them. So we've got on, we've got je, avant, oh wait, that was il, elle, on, nous avons, tu as, vous avez, j'ai, il, elle, a. There. And then the examples, listed examples that are not just letters and make no sense, and that would be that. So then maybe I would go back and I would make a second level, and I would have this second level be about être, to be, instead of to have. So you can see how you can really break things down. So today what we did just now is we created a pair d'air to introduce the idea of conjugating. Then we created a catch the answer to introduce the idea of actually kind of problem solving, reading in real time and catching correct conjugations and avoiding incorrect conjugations. And then we came over to Matchmania, where we matched our irregular terms, because irregular terms can be very complicated. So matching irregular terms, right? And you can see that's just 3 of the 22 different templates that we have. So there's a ton of opportunity for you to be able to play. I actually think pick and play would probably be really fun as well. You would just have to kind of get a little bit, I don't know, I didn't even consider using pick and play. There's so many of them. I kind of just go through and select the ones I think would be really nice, but I'm thinking about it. I'm like, pick and play would be so cool as a French or as a language thing, because you could either have it be something along the actual, like saying the word, or you could have it with the concept behind it. I hope that makes sense, because my brain is just now going with ideas for this, right? But like, you know, this is star and fish, is starfish, right? So when you say star and fish, the word comes up, starfish. But you could also do that conceptually. Like I could have star and fish and have it be starfish, but you have to write it in French. Kind of an interesting extra challenge thing. I'm not sure. That sounds really fun, so maybe we'll do that next week. Thank you guys for hanging out. That was an awesome Breshna breakdown. Now we are here every single week. This was the last one of our 3-part series on how to teach languages with Breshna. Again, we did Spanish our first week. That was 2 weeks ago. Last week we did Arabic and to English, English to Arabic. So making sure you can kind of get around our slight limitation of being able to flip your script, but only in like throughout the entire game. You can't just choose little bits. And then now we have shown you how to create a library to really introduce conjugations in French. So, hope you enjoyed. We will be back next week with another series. Who knows what we're going to do just yet. And same time every single week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And thanks so much.